And
I think we are live,
yeah,
We are live.
now that I got goosebumps and fucking hard-ons all over.
There, I did it. I didn't play too much of the YouTube background. I had to mute my microphone. So we were just telling a super top secret story about this crazy thing that happened to me last night. But we can't tell it here because I will get canceled across all platforms. So unfortunately, we can't tell the audience what we were talking about. But it is what it is.
Hey, Clive. Hey, guys.
Deal with it. What is up with everybody?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. You just got back from your worldwide trip going around the world, traveling all over the place. Let me ask you this, because I just did it 2 weeks ago. Are you exhausted?
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. I went to Minneapolis to go train with Christopher Hughes and Steven Rogers at the Energy Conservatory. Number one, my brain has exploded like 13 times and I had to pick up the goo and put it back in.
Let me just interject. Adam has been begging me, hey, dude, get your manometer out. Dude, check this for me. He's like telling me he wants me to do all these tests. And like, no, dude, it's not working right now. We'll do it in the morning.
Yeah, so those dudes working for that company, they are probably some of the smartest guys I have ever had the pleasure of talking to in my entire life. And like, I know like most people in the trade are like, how smart can somebody be, you know, dealing with heat and air conditioning? I know pretty smart. We know there's a lot of really smart people, but like these guys are next level, like next level. It's incredible. And you were asking me if I'm tired. So I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, walk down the street, and mind you, this is kind of crazy. The hotel was like a couple blocks away from that whole George Floyd thing. And like, they still have like burned down buildings and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a really nice neighborhood, but it's eerie seeing like the police station that was burned down and everything. But yeah, so walking down, I would grab coffee, go sit in the lobby, and then they would pick us up and drive over to the Energy Conservatory, and then we'd start the class. We'd have lunch. They'd take us either out for lunch or whatever, buy us lunch. These guys are so, what's the word? Hospitable?
Yeah.
Really, dude, I gained like 15 pounds. You know? So we'd learn all day, and then you go back to the hotel. All right, meet down here in 20 minutes for dinner. And then we'd sit at dinner and talk about like just nerd stuff all night long and then do it all over again. It was freaking awesome.
That's awesome. They do make a good product. So products. So doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, with my little bit of interaction with them, Steve Rogers has been awesome. Chris Hughes has been awesome. Bill Graber's been awesome. They're really, really nice people, and they really do want to help the industry. Like, and you know, that's something that I will say about the Energy Conservatory. Of course, they're a business and they have to make money, but I don't get that vibe from Steve Rogers. I get the vibe from him that he just wants to teach people and he just wants to train people.
No, and you know what? Like, he is so incredibly smart, and he talks to, you know, I don't think I'm an idiot, but compared to Steve Rogers, let's be honest. Come on. You know what I mean? And he talks to you like you're on the same level. You know what I mean? Like it's incredible. And it's like we're talking different languages. You know, and it's interesting too, because I mentioned that I just went to Heatcraft Refrigeration. I think that there's something because I had a similar experience at Heatcraft Refrigeration, but I think for me, it's being around people that are obviously smarter than you, but super passionate.
That's what it is. Yeah. Going to Heatcraft, same thing. And then talking with the Energy Conservatory through video messages and whatever, like it's just refreshing to finally talk to a manufacturer that's passionate about something, you know, because there's so much of that right now where it's just like, oh man, you know, this company just seems like they're just not doing too good right now, you know, or whatever. But I mean, to hear people and meet people and hear about things you can't talk about, and it's really cool. So
I knew like the DG8 and DG1000 was accurate, but then going back and not even talking to Steve or, you know, any of the other guys about it, like talking to the guys actually building them and that are part of like the engineering in the back, their auto zeroing feature. If you notice, like the gauges click.
Yeah.
They click every few seconds. There's a valve on the inside and there's a manifold. The valve shuts and then zeroes itself off and then opens back up to pressure.
Sweet.
And they have these sensors, and these sensors are actually supposed to be super accurate, but they're not accurate enough for TEC. So they measure their accuracy and then they adjust the accuracy. They reprogram the sensors to be within like 1% accurate on
That's
these.
interesting.
Why don't you tell the guys what you're talking about? Because some people don't know what a DG8 or DG1000 is or whatever.
Micro manometers. They're like super accurate manometers. That's what they use in the TrueFlow grid. The TrueFlow grid, actually, they give you one with a screen. And then internal in the grid, there's another manometer, another DG8 without a screen built into the DG8.
Oh, okay, so that's what. Okay, cool.
And the DG8, I should go grab it. It's super tiny too.
You should.
It's crazy. I'll go grab it real quick.
And while you're grabbing, I was going to say, you know what, Adam? There's a common respect for HVAC mechanics, refrigeration mechanics, and obviously the engineers. Look, we're out there fixing equipment. We didn't design it. We didn't make it, and we're fixing a problem. You know, we're trying to come to for a solution. We're trying to fix the solution for that day or that service call. So, you know, there's a common respect factor for sure between the two, for sure.
I learned some cool tricks though using the blower door and the duct blaster.
You got some little trickery now, eh? Some
little
tips.
Yeah, little trickery.
You gonna share a couple or what?
Maybe we're gonna try it out on Chris's house. And
Okay.
you missed we did a call with Steve the one day, and they have a program. It's like a super old program. It's called C-Stack.
Okay.
It looks like it's like a MS-DOS program.
Oh yeah, okay.
That program has incredible power and it's crazy. So we're gonna use
like
that.
a writing program.
Huh?
Like writing program or
No, it's actually like telling you what is happening in your house based on the leakage of
Oh.
your house and the pressures that you measure with reference to outside at different levels of your house.
So you got the DG1000. This one's for the blower door, touchscreen, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and then you have the DG8, which is Bluetooth. But both of them super crazy accurate. It's
So
really
one thing I learned about the DG8, Chris, look at the top of the DG8.
cool.
There's a little plug. If you pull out the plug, you could actually control the blower door with the DG8 as well too.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so I've been connecting the blower door to my app, and I that's something too that I really dig about that is the idea that you can take your phone with you up into the attic when you're air sealing and stuff, and you can actually turn the blower door on and off, you know, via connection through your phone. So that way you could be sealing stuff up, then turn it back on, test again with the smoke, turn it off, do all that. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, it's just neat to be in. I have to say that I'm super fortunate that I'm in a position where I can talk with manufacturers, and I'd imagine you feel the same too, Adam, because it's really cool to be able to talk to the people at these manufacturing companies, you know, like, you know, whoever I get to work with in different circumstances. It's really neat to be able to interact with them and share information. And I will say something too about a lot of the companies. I never knew this until recently, but a lot of these companies actually want feedback from the public and they're willing to listen. So all you need to do in a polite way is reach out to them. And they all want to hear negative and positive stuff, as long as you're not a jerk about it. Like, they want feedback. So reach out to all these manufacturers and tell them, like, hey, I really don't like the way your product's working. You know, like way back in the day, when I first started making videos, one of the ways that I got to start communicating with Fieldpiece was I got frustrated at something that was happening with one of their tools, and I made a video of it, and I made it unlisted, and I shared the link with them. And I was like, here, I hate this about this particular tool. And that's what they were like, hey, that's really cool, you know? And it was just me just sharing, and I wasn't being a jerk. I was just like, if you did it this way, it seems like it'd be a lot better, you know?
Right.
So all these manufacturers want this information.
So quick story. They shared this story when we were there. There was one of their customers that owns the TrueFlow grid was measuring airflow, I think, at his own personal house somewhere on the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that, right? And I believe the story goes, I think Chris is in the chat, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but the airflow measurement that the TrueFlow was stating was drastically different than what Measurequick was claiming. And it was off. And that bothered Steve Rogers. So like, he's like, I need to know why it's off. Is our brand new tool that we thought was so accurate broken? So what they did was him and Chris Hughes got on a plane and flew out to this dude's house with 2 other True Flow grids and a duct blaster. Okay. And they're doing a duct blaster test on this guy's ductwork. They're using the True Flow, and they're sitting at his dining room table with Steve Rogers, Christopher Hughes, this random tech, and Jim Bergman on the speakerphone trying to figure out what's going on with this guy's house.
Nice.
Imagine what kind of customer service is that?
Man, that's
Right?
awesome.
No, it's cool. It's awesome. So what else? What have you been up to this week, Joe?
Not much. Just been trying to, I don't know, just trying to catch up on a few big jobs.
Yeah.
I'll get to that, Chris. Let me just address something in chat. Somebody asked how much slope should a condensate have, and what could cause a double trap. And I think Jason answered, which that's what I go by, pretty much 1/4 inch per foot. And double trap, like I've done it before. You do a trap, you go down, you try to go over an obstacle to make it neat, and there's your double trap. A saggy condensate line. If there's a trap and a saggy condensate line, maybe it's stepped on, maybe it's sagging, that could almost cause a double trap, and which could cause a airlock, and you won't condense out of the pipe, and could cause problems.
I will say one thing when you're talking about traps and stuff. I can't tell you how many times I've come across package units that have been in existence for a very long time, and they either didn't have a trap or they did have a trap when they shouldn't. So pay attention. There's so many different configurations.
Yes.
Is your drain pan on the negative air pressure side? Is it on the positive air pressure side? Is it already internally trapped? So if you add another trap, you're making a double trap.
Yeah,
like there's so many
that's a
different
good one.
things to consider. Even I've done that
Yeah,
on installs where I didn't read instructions. Then it's like, oh, that's double trap.
I've seen that on boilers as well, condensing boilers. Yeah, you're right.
You know, so you really got to pay attention these days. There's nothing's cookie cutter anymore, and it's very, very different. So,
or even a short, or even a short trap. They, it's doesn't have enough, like the second. I don't know, explain it. The second column per se is too short, and that could cause issues.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But anyways, pay attention.
There's actually, I think a lot of times, I don't know about every manufacturer, but I've actually seen in different manuals where they tell you, I believe the height of the trap should be based off the static pressure of the
blower door. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Door. Ding.
We have all that stuff in our heads. Yeah, absolutely. It's what the blower can, I guess, pull in, right? So that's what essentially it's doing, pulling in from the atmosphere if it's not done right. Supported every 8 foot for 3/4 inch. That's what Mike Pipe says. Good to see you. That's what he's saying in chat. Seems
yep.
All right. Cool. Jason Obstrud in chat. Cool. It's a lot of good people in chat today, guys.
Yeah. Adam was hanging out with Jason.
Yeah.
This week.
Smart dude.
So that was pretty cool. I was a bit envious seeing and hearing your stories, Adam. I was like, man, I want to go there.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
We should have 1-inch static. Yeah.
It's interesting. This last week, I'm still just trying to catch up from the heat waves that we had a couple weeks ago. And it's crazy. I lost track of time. I really did. I was going through invoices and I was looking for something, like looking for a job that we did. And I was like, wait, we did that back in June. And then I started thinking, and then I was like, wait, we did that back in May. And I was thinking of like how hot it was when I did that job. And I'm like, damn, it's been hot, like ridiculously well over 100 since May, and then now we're finally cooling down. We're still in the 90s and we're going to hit 100 on Tuesday, I think, but that's low compared to what we were at. So it's kind of nice to catch up on some of these silly calls. Like I went out on one today that it was like for a door lock that fell off of a walk-in cooler, and it came in May. And I was like, yeah, no, we won't get to that right now. Like, we just blew them off. And then I was able to finally get out there and order it today. But do you guys prioritize stuff like that? Like when customers call and, it's like a silly call, like I'll just put it off. I have customers, like multiple customers that ship me equipment because I work for some big giant restaurants. And when you work with those big ones, sometimes they buy their own stuff. So they like ship me equipment without even telling me. And I'm like, yeah, that's going on the back burner. Like, and I'll sit on it for like 3-4 months. I'm like, no, I'll get to that in like November, when I have time to actually breathe.
I have customers that, they call in for something random. They're like, in July, they'll say, I want to add a humidifier. It's like, okay, what we'll call you when we free up some time. And then they'll call back like 2 weeks later. They're like, what's going on? You haven't gotten back to us. It's like, it's 90 degrees and nobody has air conditioning. I'm sorry, you're not going to use a humidifier. You got to wait, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So some of the stuff like, and I'll prioritize customers too. And I prioritize service calls. Like if I have like a silly reach-in cooler call when we're in the middle of a heat wave and I've got walk-ins and air conditioners down, like the reach-in cooler goes on the back burner, you know? And if I have customers that do routine maintenance with me, like I have 2 customers that actually do routine maintenance, like they get priority over the other guys. Cause you know, I'm just putting out fires with the other guys, you know, and it's like, I can take care of my customers that actually want to take care of their equipment, you know?
Of course.
But
how accurate is Measurequick CFM estimate? I think depending on duct leakage, it could be extremely accurate.
And I will say that it is accurate if you deploy the probes properly.
Absolutely.
If you don't deploy the probes properly, and like Adam said, Measurequick can even estimate for duct leakage. But again, you have to understand something, especially when you're working on package units. It's not always practical to deploy the probes properly, right? So I can't necessarily take an air probe, run it downstairs, put it in the supply diffuser closest to the unit, and then come upstairs and get a return air. Like that's not practical. So they go in the side of the package unit, you know? So that's probably not going to give you the most accurate airflow, you know? So it really depends on where you deploy the probes.
Yeah, probes are important. Like Adam said, duct losses and what else? I guess it's reading the temperature or the differences between the temperature and humidity, I guess, because
it's looking through enthalpy change. And
enthalpy change, yeah. I guess that's how, yeah.
And I think he's using like a mass flow calculation to
some sort of top.
Oh, like the 4.5. Yeah, okay. Times enthalpy. The thing is that you got to pay attention, I think, on that is like if, I don't know, like I guess something bad on the evaporator can cause a change, like some kind of delta change in the evaporator could cause.
And think about it too. You get your probe too close to the evaporator,
right?
And it's going to be colder than it should be, you know.
But like a delta change,
yes.
You also notice that if you're looking at the superheat and subcooling. So like Measurequick's looking at everything, right?
True. Yeah, true.
And that's what I like about Measurequick. You know, I don't necessarily use it for the troubleshooting as much, but like I'll scroll to the troubleshooting every once in a while just to see if I'm in line. But more or less, I really appreciate the fact how it consolidates everything in one place for you. And you can look at it and you could say, okay, my discharge line temp's this, you know, everything's right here and it's fluid, right? Because you get the people, and I should be careful how I say this, but I'm just going to say it. You get the people that say analog's the best. I could do it. I never used that fancy digital crap before, but superheat is not a constant. It's not a number that once you get a superheat reading, that's your superheat reading. Superheat fluctuates the entire time when your expansion valve is opening and closing. So that can tell you a lot too, you know? So if you take a measurement and it takes you 90 seconds to take a superheat measurement and do the math, well, that superheat might have changed 20 times in that 90 seconds, you know? So that's where digital is really, really awesome. And something like Measurequick does a good job of that. And one, you know, I don't want to talk about Measurequick all night long, but one thing that they do really good too is they, you know, calculate the glide for you too and give you the numbers where you need them, right? So, you know, when you're measuring superheat, it looks at this, but when you're measuring your evaporator temperature, it's going to look at this. Like they do a good job of giving you the midpoint of the glide in the right circumstances versus if you use some of the other apps that calculate that stuff and you talk to those manufacturers, they're like, wait, what's glide? You know, like what? Why do we need to know that? You know, and it's like, come on, guys.
I know. Anonymous center of the glide. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
What else, Joe? What have you been doing?
Not much. Equipment's been taking so long to get here. I have a new apprentice, which so far it's been 2 weeks. Maybe he's watching. I don't know, but he's good. The other day he's like, he thought he took a little bit longer on his I guess washroom break. And he's like, oh, sorry, dude. I had to pray. I'm like, I don't care. I wish more guys prayed, you know? So he's a good kid and he has a good head. You know, you tell him something, he's picking up quick. And yeah, I'm impressed. It shocked me. Honestly, I was a little shocked. You know, I always give everybody a chance and kind of shocked me. So far, so good. So I'm happy about that for sure.
That's cool. I got a bunch. I had put out there that I was looking for a new apprentice, and I got a
heard.
bunch of resumes and different things, and I got to go through them. I've just been busy, but I'll go through them, and there looked like there was a few good candidates in there. So
Awesome.
try to pick one up. Now, my biggest problem is I got to pick up a van.
A few
Like,
stalkers too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there was one guy. Like, did I talk about this already on the
You
show?
did on your show.
Oh, I did on mine. Okay, so on this show, so I had a guy that in my social media post, when I said I was looking for an apprentice, I said, send me an email. Okay. So this person sends me like 2 emails, and then he starts messaging me on Facebook, like, I sent you my resume. Okay. And I didn't acknowledge it. And then 2 messages, 3 messages, 4 messages. And then last Sunday, he messages me and he goes, why are you ignoring me? And I just lost my shit. I just went off on him. I was like, bro, it's Sunday. I'm not dealing with work. And for real, you've messaged me so many times and you couldn't follow directions. Delete.
Yeah. Right. And why on Messenger? Why you contact me on Messenger?
Good God, man. Just because you can hit me on Facebook, like, I don't mind talking with people. Ask me a question, but I specifically said, email me.
He's motivated.
Yeah, he was motivated.
Chris doesn't get that mad when we're trying to get in touch with him. We just keep freaking, what is it called when you put an @ sign? Ping somebody.
Yeah.
I'll ping Chris like 30 times in a row. Ping, ping, ping.
Hey, you gotta give him respect. He gets back. He's not one of those guys who gets pinged and he's like,
yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. Like people message me all the time, and I have conversations with people all the time, just randomly. And it wasn't that he contacted me on Sunday. It was that he was consistently messaging me, and it was getting ridiculous, And it was like, bro, calm down, man. Like, good grief. Because I talk to people all the time, and I'm totally cool with people messaging me, but not when I say send me your resumes to my email. Then you start messaging me. Like, come on, bro. Stop that crap.
Yeah. I can see what Clive is saying. Maybe he was keen on, like, eager to work, but there's that fine line too. Like,
yeah, but when he messaged me and said, why are you ignoring me? It's like, no, that's a bit much. Like, come on, dude.
You should have said you were washing your hair.
I should have, huh? Clive or Ty said, pick up a van. What does he mean? Have I been working out? Yeah, I'm gonna deadlift a van for sure. I work out. Oh, I got to tell you guys a story. So I was driving in the car with my wife. This is one of those happy, loving stories, right? So we were driving down the road, and I just casually mentioned her, and I was like, oh, hey, I ordered those fat dad shirts. And she's like, what? Because there's this company on Instagram that sells shirts for fat dads that hide your belly or whatever. So I was like, I ordered those fat dad shirts. And she looks at me and she has this smirk on her face. And she goes, for real? And I go, yeah, I ordered them on Instagram. And she goes, I just ordered those for you today too. And I go, wait, I ordered them today. She goes, I ordered the 6-pack and she ordered the 6-pack. So now I'm going to have 12 freaking fat dad shirts coming to my house. Nice.
Are they different colors? I hope.
Yeah, they are. They're all like the army green and all that. Well, how do you like those shirts, Adam?
I like them a lot, actually.
Are they the true classic ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ones I ordered. So,
and they are not a sponsor of the show.
Nope.
Ding. What's up, Kyle? Fat dad shirt for weeks. I don't even know what these fat dad shirts are, to be honest.
It hides your belly, bro.
Does it really?
Yeah. It makes you look strong and fit, even though you're fat. And
because that's my one thing is, like, I like tight fitting shirts that, like, not like show your pecs, but like somewhat fit you. They're not all baggy, but then the problem is they all hug your belly and, like, make it stick out even more. So
I get it.
Can skinny guys wear them? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We'll find out.
I guess the skinny guys will make look like you eat. I don't know. Who knows? Nathan
says it also exaggerates your enormous penis. I wouldn't have that problem.
We should, Nathan's in here.
Nathan,
we need to have him back on.
I think we need to schedule that.
It didn't work last time.
Nathan, what's Nathan?
Nathan Orr.
Oh, I didn't even see him.
I don't think you were on the show. Were you on the show that day, Joe?
No.
Yes, I was.
Or was that the day that one of the many days you missed because you've been slacking off so much?
No, I was here. He was talking about his ghost story. Then he got cut off by some bad reception in Boondocks.
Gotcha.
I was here. Speaking of bad reception in the Boondocks, where's Bill? What's he doing? He's
driving back from like Kentucky or something like that. He had to go run a service call in Kentucky this morning.
Should we leave his face on there just in case?
Yeah, I think he's just listening.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
There
hear
you are.
Have you made
Holy
it out of
shit.
Kentucky yet?
I don't even know where I'm at, dude. I'm at some rest stop on some turnpike. I
Please
don't
tell me
know.
you're sitting
I'm
in the
just
stall in the
hoping.
restroom.
Hmm.
That would be
I'm
so
hoping
epic.
somebody just kidnaps me.
Dude, that would be so epic if you're just sitting in the restroom doing a live stream and you just turn your camera on and there's a freaking toilet behind you.
That would be amazing.
I would
Well
probably get
thought.
better reception.
They're
Don't
here in the
tempt me,
toilet.
man.
Hey,
33 miles ago, I stopped.
so let me ask you guys this. So one thing that drives me nuts, are you the type of person that will stay on your Bluetooth when you go into the restroom?
No.
Will you have a conversation sitting on the toilet?
Yes.
You will?
Yes.
Oh, I purposely flush the toilet when I hear someone talking on the phone just so that everybody knows that they're fucking in the bathroom, dude. I flushed it multiple times.
Why
I think
not?
that's so freaking dumb, dude. My phone gets turned off. I never answer the phone sitting on the toilet, and it always goes off when I walk in the bathroom. And if I hear someone else talking on their phone, flush that toilet as many times as you can just to let everybody on the other end of that phone know.
I think in a public washroom, maybe not, but in private, I probably would. I probably have. I don't know. Can't remember. Yeah.
Bill is he's still homeless, by the way.
Yeah, Nathan, we definitely need to schedule that, dude. We need to schedule the call when you can come on again for sure. Because everybody wants to hear the story about the goat.
I still, yeah, there's so much anticipation for the story, but I never hear it.
It's a really good story.
It is. And Nathan or at least he told it so well that we couldn't stop laughing. So
Yeah.
definitely need to hear that one.
Hayden is saying he wrote that paper about you, Chris. Hopefully it's a good paper and nothing like he's gonna, you know.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember something about that. That's very interesting, man. It's humbling, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of odd to be recognized. So it's a little different. But it's cool.
What was it about? Oh, that's what I was gonna do.
I don't know.
What we're gonna do?
Somebody sent an email. They spotted Chris's car in a parking lot somewhere here.
Oh,
My car?
Yeah.
no, wasn't it?
Oh, is it a pineapple car or something like that?
Sticker or something?
That's funny. That is funny. What we got down for shenanigans.
People actually put that on their car.
Hey, if you guys get those stickers, I'll put them on my wife's car just to mess with her. But you guys got to send them to me to if you look on any one of my videos is my PO box. If you get those like upside down pineapple stickers or something like that, I'll put it on my wife's car without telling her. So just send it to my PO box.
Deal.
I'll totally do that, and then I'll take a picture and then tag her or something like that. Or I'll wait for her to get pissed at me. She'd be so mad. That'll be funny, huh?
It was Susie Dunn sent that.
Oh, did she? That's funny. That is funny.
I haven't seen her. I don't think.
She is one of the old OGs.
Yes, definitely is for sure. I was like on this weird I don't know about you guys, but like how I relax and how I calm down. This is probably a conversation for the Cooler Heads podcast. If you guys haven't figured out or heard about the Cooler Heads podcast, you guys definitely need to go check it out. I have yet to be on there because they haven't invited me yet.
Shut up, you. Are you coming tomorrow?
It's a possibility. Are you guys waking up at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. What time are you doing it at?
I don't know. I gotta look.
Yeah. So, anyways, check out the Cooler Heads podcast. Look it up. But, anyways, when I'm like losing my shit and stuff like that, like when I need to relax and de-stress, music and movies do that for me. Like I could just sit down and veg out to a movie or listen to like whatever music or whatever. And I've been on this 80s kick lately, and I started watching old 80s movies. They are so freaking cringe, like corny, but I don't know. There's something about them. Like watching Keanu Reeves as like a 17-year-old or something like that act in a movie, or some of these old 80s movies. I watched the Career Opportunities last night, and it was so horrible, but yet I couldn't turn it off.
Forget about me.
Yep. It's just funny. Like that's just how I calm down, is by watching movies or listening to music. So
Brett's in here. He knows what time tomorrow.
yeah, Brett will say it.
The Cooler Heads podcast. That's Brett, guys. You could put the link in the chat for people, guys. I don't know.
Do I eat 800 milligrams of edibles? No, not that much.
Well, there's like a podcast link, right? Like if you have, I mean, did he put it on podcast? I'm sure he did. Brett is like,
yeah, it's on the podcast formats.
he does stuff like this.
Yep.
All right, this is what was happening when we were talking about this originally. The Cooler Head podcast, we originally came up with another name. It was like, hey, we should do this because we were talking about like arguing with our wives. We should do this. I'm like, yeah, we should name it this. 10 seconds later, Brett had like the domain that he bought.
Yep.
He designed the logo, and he had t-shirts on order. And then
Exactly.
And then we were like, hey, maybe not that one. Maybe we'll do this one. And then he bought the second domain, had t-shirts and the whole thing. And, you know, he's like, come on, guys, can we just stick with one?
So Hausch says that Goonies is one of the best 80s movies. I will agree with that. I'm trying to remember if it's the 80s, though, but one of my favorite 80s, early 90s movies is Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
good
good.
one with Kurt Russell. That is a great movie.
8 a.m. Central.
Somebody in chat was saying, what they say here? Let me go back. Low subcooling, low superheat, charge is good. What can be the issue? And then Kenneth Landis, which I agree, is fan speed. That's a big giveaway. Well, not giveaway, but that's one thing to look at for sure.
Why is charge good?
I don't know. That's what the guy's saying. Charge is good.
You know, I have a hard
Maybe
like,
wait in.
and don't
I don't
take this the wrong way, but for me, it's difficult for me to troubleshoot people's problems over the phone because, like, for instance, I was talking to someone today at work and they were having a hard time with the temperature controller. And I was like, this isn't making sense. It just, dude, it doesn't make sense what you're telling me. And sure enough, it wasn't. There was a problem, you know, and it was an install problem, right? So for me, it's really hard to troubleshoot things because I have such trust issues. So when someone says, yeah, that's good, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, what do you mean is good? Explain it to me.
Yeah,
Why is it good?
and
You know?
I mean, it's not good if it's low superheat and low subcooling, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what, I mean, is it a piston? Is it a TXV? It could be what, too large of an orifice?
Yeah. Well, if
If it was too large of an orifice, you'd be flooding back.
Well, that
yeah,
that's low superheat, right?
Yeah,
I'm
true.
assuming the TXV is slam open, and it's trying to get lower superheat, and it's not, and it's creating that low.
Someone had asked one of those questions on Facebook this last week. I don't remember what group it was on, and I commented. I was like, "It's too vague of a question," and don't take offense to. I'm not trying to offend anybody by saying this, but someone said, or they asked a question and I said, that was too vague of a question. There's too many variables. And I listed off all the things to check. And there was probably 30 things to check. And then the person responded with, nobody, people aren't as smart as you, or we're not, whatever. They said something like I was smart, or it's not that I'm smart. It's that we all have to take all those different variables into account when we're diagnosing something. It's not just as easy as saying suction pressure, head pressure, you're good to go. No.
We were talking about this week too, is like on all these forums when people ask about like charging issues and this and that, it's like they say this is going on this is going on that, and my airflow is good.
Airflow's good,
they'll tell you all the variables, superheat, subcooling, this, that, blah, 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 sizing, this and that, but my airflow is good. It's like, what does a good mean?
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I've never done this before, but if you're using like the fan performance tables and you're taking total external static pressure, and you're trying to figure out what the airflow is based on the manufacturer's specs. If you drill multiple holes in different spots, like no, I'm not traversing it. I'm just saying, like, randomly, let's say you take you take a measurement in the center of the cabinet, and then maybe the next time you do it, you take it 4 inches forward or whatever, or different positions on the blower cabinet.
Yeah,
your readings can be drastically different. Drastically different. And if they're drastically different, your airflow is not what you think it is if you're using the fan performance tables, right?
Gotcha.
For
and
sure.
People swear by them and live by them. The gentleman did say TXV and static 0.50 on furnace, which I don't. I'm assuming he just did static on. He didn't do overall system. He just did on the equipment static. I'm assuming, which is kind of.
Yeah, Ty is saying TXV stuck open
for sure.
Metering device
for sure.
NC bulb. He's spot on right here. But Ty's like freaking on point with everything he says. So
yeah, when you say sensing bulb non-mounted, it could be. It could be a bad TXV or a bad sensing bulb.
Let's go out on a limb and say it's not a bad TXV. because let's be honest, majority of the time it's not a bad TXV,
Yeah, I know,
and
you're
it's
right.
going to be something, you know, if
Sensing
it's
bubble.
refrigeration, it's a plugged up strainer, it's a restriction before the TXV. It's very, very rare that it is a bad TXV.
Did he add a refrigerant to see what reaction did it do? Like maybe add a little refrigerant, see the reaction. I don't know. See how it reacts. But yeah, I agree. Like we said before, I think it's do something with airflow. But hey,
Buy a True Flow grid.
Yeah.
I can't wait until the day that we have an accurate, like highly, highly accurate device to measure airflow on package units.
Yeah,
that'll be the day. Commercial package units, that'll be the day. Because my gosh, it would open the door to troubleshooting for sure.
They said they're working on something, aren't they?
I mean, it's
yeah, I would say it's inevitable, but you know.
When the inevitable becomes evitable.
True.
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 I guess.
But yeah, you know, like the thing is I want to go back to the social media posts. You know, so many people jump on the social media forums. Someone will ask a question in Facebook, like, you know, my same thing you said. Pressures are good. All this different stuff, and then I used to try to answer, but it's exhausting sometimes because so many people jump in there and say it's this, and none of those answers. There's no way they can. I mean, they're guessing if they're telling them those answers.
Dude,
like
there was one time where I got into an argument because like we were talking about the filter on the side of a furnace, and it was like 100,000 BTU, 95% furnace. It was a Train S9 V2 furnace, and they had a 16 by 25 filter on the side, and it was right on the side. And I'm like, you can't do that. And then, dude, I got swarmed with people telling me I'm an idiot. Train says you could do it. You could do it. You could do it. I'm like, you could use a 16 by 25 filter. I'm like, it's not a 16 by 25 filter if the blower compartment doesn't open up to the entire 16 by 25 filter. It's not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You see that so much.
That's and then like then I'm like, you know, I don't know. It's not worth the argument, right?
So didn't you say they make, like, what would you do in that circumstance? Like, instead of putting on a box?
Number one, I would absolutely never, ever, ever use a 16 by 25 filter on a 100,000 BTU furnace.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah.
What is this?
What are you saying?
Nathan's comment. He says he can't wait till the day when he comes home after a long day without his wife and kids physically abusing him till he vomits blood while they all chant, "Nathan is a fat loser. Nathan is a fat loser."
Oh, maybe if you got fat dad shirts, they wouldn't say that anymore.
Exactly, Nathan. I think we need to send. Maybe I need to send you my extra 6 fat dad shirts that I accidentally ordered.
Send them.
That's funny.
But what were you saying, Adam, about the remedy? What would you do? Other than the 16 by 24 on 100,000 BTU furnace, what would you do?
I mean, you need a bigger filter. If you're tripping limit, you need more airflow, right? So
what's tripping limit? Gotcha.
What can you possibly do to prevent tripping limit if you're not moving the right of airflow? Either increase your supply duct, increase your return duct, get a bigger coil so you have less pressure drop across the coil, or a bigger filter so you have less pressure drop across the filter. Period. That's it.
So I actually think
put a higher limit in.
I actually think that Mike B is the winner of the best movie of the 80s is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. That is absolutely true. The Phoebe Cates swimming pool scene. Yep.
No idea what we're talking about.
Hi, Brad. Yep. That's exactly. Yep.
Andrew, none of us are running calls right here, but I don't know if anybody in chat is.
Yeah,
what's that?
Double-sided return. You need to move. You need less restriction to move more air, right?
Yeah.
Zach Popovich wants to know if anybody else is going to the HVACR symposium.
Heck yeah.
I'll be there. I'll be there
with bells and whistles.
I'll be there for sure.
Well, guys, I don't know. I gotta break something to you. You already know this.
You're messed up. No, don't even say it because I already know what you're gonna say.
Go for it,
bastard. You're gonna put me in my own Airbnb all by myself because it'll just be me and Rick is what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be me and Rick in our own place because Adam is a loser. Yeah, Adam's a loser.
Yeah,
he's not gonna be staying in our place with us.
You're actually gonna do that, Adam?
Yeah,
dude. There is this house with like, all right,
no,
so
fuck
like.
You. Fuck you.
Listen, it's like a high schooler going to basketball camp, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to stay with your friends at basketball camp, or do you want to hang out with like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, all these guys?" You know.
So why don't you
every
bring
one
your
of those
friend with him?
movies, but wait, in every one of those movies that you see that happening, in the end, they go back to their friends and they're like, you know what, man? I'm sorry I did that to you. You're my true friend.
Probably
You know?
will, but you know what? I'll bring you an autographed basketball.
Why don't you invite Chris with you?
I don't have the power to do so.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
No, I do not.
I don't even know what this house is about.
It's like a multi-million-dollar mansion. This huge freaking house is being rented out.
By who?
Like Chris Hughes.
Chris Hughes.
Oh, Chris, you're there. Invite this guy. What's wrong with you? I'm gonna be the inviter.
There's no room.
Oh, let's
They
sleep in the
maxed it out.
couch, in the shed, in the dog
Pretty sure
den.
there's already someone sleeping on the couch. They got so many people staying in that place.
Oh my
for sure.
God. How rude.
Yep. But Adam's ditching me, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. You know,
Thanks.
hey, I might not go to the symposium, you know? 'Cause
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
feel
thanks,
left
Chris,
out
for
and don't have
splitting
nowhere to
them up.
stay and no friends, I'll feel all lonely, you know?
Leave
I
it to
mean,
Chris.
Hey, Chris, could Chris stay with us if I let him share?
He's asking him live, guys.
Are you gonna let me stay on your
Live.
Mickey Mouse bed with you?
We could share a bed. We could share a bed. Well, just no cuddling. Hey, big spoon, little spoon. We got to flip for it.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that'll be epic pictures. Someone coming in the middle of the night, taking a picture of us just sleeping on the same bed.
Look at these overtime losers.
Back to back. Back to back, bro. Back to back. I better not wake up with you facing the other way. Oh, man.
House is full, guys. Sorry. I wish I had the room. Come on. There's an attic. There's an attic.
Oh, man. Jessica did give me socks. That's right. And I actually, of all things, I've never been a person to wear like themed socks, but Jessica has given me a pair of pineapple socks and a pair of Kalos socks, and I actually wear them quite often. The Kalos socks are pretty comfortable.
They're pretty cool too. They actually like have appropriate graphics on them.
Yeah, they do. The Kalos ones are pretty cool. I think Brian hit it out of the park with those socks for sure.
What happened once with husband due to overbooking of the accommodation? I don't get that.
I don't know anything about that. Might end up being divorced for sure. That happened once with. Oh, okay. I see what Clive is saying. That I got you. There's a boathouse you might be able to crash in. There you go. Yeah, I'll take the boathouse.
There you go.
I think there's a pontoon boat. You could sleep in the pontoon boat.
I did that when I was a kid. We thought it would be a smart idea to go out on our local mountain resort and sleep out. We used to have a pontoon boat and sleep out on the lake. And that's when you realize that the temperature underneath the pontoon boat with no insulation, as you're laying there with a blanket on and you're freezing your ass, you're like shivering out on the lake. Yeah, that's no fun. No fun.
Very
no
close
fun
to
at
Citrus
all.
Tower.
Oh, we were talking about before the show. So, when you were a kid, what did you think you were gonna do when you grew up, Adam? Like when you were a teenager?
I thought I was gonna be a rock star.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What about you, Joe? What did you think you were gonna be when you were a teenager?
That's a good question. I didn't know, dude.
So when I was a teenager, my passion, the only thing, I was about 17 and I thought I was going to snowboard professionally for the rest of my life. Like
this is a guy in California, guys.
Yeah, I used to we have some local resorts. I got a job at the ski resort just for the season pass, just so that I can go up and go snowboarding every single weekend. And there's a cool story about that. So I actually only worked at the ski resort for about 3 weeks. And then I decided it was too much because it was like far away from my house. And so I actually put in my notice and quit, right? Well, this was before the digital age. So in order to get, what do you want? Oh, your thing. In order to get your season pass, you had to go up to the kiosk and show your employee ID. And they never took my employee ID. So for the rest of the season, I got free lift tickets and didn't work there. So it worked out for me. You going to play your music video or what?
Should I play like 10 seconds of it?
Yeah, play it. You're going to get copyrighted, but who cares? Big screen.
Guys, I didn't even show you.
Where am I?
Well, come on.
Adam is there somewhere, boys.
Adam's the bassist, right?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
I'm trying to find it. I don't know. I'm in there somewhere.
They have a
me.
split second of Adam.
There's me right here.
There you go.
There you go.
That's very Sum 41
Yeah.
Blink 182. Yeah,
That's awesome.
very, very much. That was what was that, about 99, 2002, somewhere in there?
That was in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Figures.
Pop punk.
We were actually, right before we broke up, we made it on Johan's Face Records, which that's the record label that Alkaline Trio got their start, and the Smoking Popes and a bunch of others.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. I never knew a rock star.
Yeah, I'm a washed up, almost has been.
The rock star didn't work out. This is like that movie. Like, yeah, things didn't work out, so I became a heating and air conditioning repairman.
Seriously.
You're probably making more money now than whatever, unless you were really big at that time, singing or whatever.
It was fun. We traveled around. It was pretty cool. But yeah, you don't make money. You can't have a family doing that.
No. Drugs and alcohol. Brett says garbage truck driver. You know, I did think of that once, to be honest.
Actually, garbage truck drivers actually make good money. You know, like when I was a kid, you frowned on that. Like, oh my God, those dudes make like really.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Back when we were kids, though, that's when men was men, right?
Yeah.
You had to get out and you're freaking lifting everything by yourself. Couches, freaking all the garbage cans, you lift 100%. House after house, you're lifting. Now they got these little
claws.
Yeah.
They don't even get out.
He breaks my damn trash can every time because he overextends the damn claws and crushes it.
Yeah.
What's the
Waste
movie
engineer,
with
damn
Emilio
it.
Estevez where he was a trash man? Was it Men at Work? I think it was Men at Work. I think was the name of the movie.
When men were men, grr, Susie says.
They are union. Yep, they are. Waste engineer, damn it. Oh, that's right, Kenneth. Sorry. Yeah, it's a waste engineer for sure.
Hey, listen, you got to pay them good or else who's going to do it, right? You got to pay them good. You got to compensate.
Look at that, Ty. Ty said, just when you think Adam can't get any cooler, bam, unlocked another level.
Yeah, awesome, Ty.
Up, down, left, right, back, forward.
Finish him.
Yep.
That work. But anyways.
Right on, man. You about ready to wrap this up?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Bill's not here, and let's get out of here, I guess.
Do I got to cue something up here?
Yeah, sure.
I guess it's been a good show, man. Had a couple good questions, for sure. Good questions.
What time is it?
Time for you to end the show.
Oh, 7, my time. Hi, buddy. Say hi.
It's 5 minutes.
Oh.
You guys started late. You got to tell a couple jokes for 5 minutes. Give these guys a full hour.
Okay. Let's see. Jokes. Let's talk about something here.
Yeah, I got no jokes, bro.
No jokes
I'm out.
here either. I don't know, Adam.
Bill's
It's kind of hard to tell jokes when Bill's not here.
I know,
Yeah,
Bill-
you can't feed off Bill and his sarcasm.
Nope.
Yes, he's definitely the funny guy.
That's
Definitely
right.
a funny guy.
But look at
Anyways.
him. What a
Chris,
jerk.
hire me, bud. Oxnard Shores is saying, hire me,
Yeah.
bud. See ya, Chevy. See you guys on Monday for sure.
Douches. That's about right. That sums up the
Douches.
show. We're just a bunch of douches.
Did you guys unionize or something, Mike B?
Yep.
Yep, it's that time, bud. We got, 15 minutes before we got to get to the shop. We got to punch out. We got to have a coffee and smoke before we punch out.
We still got to load the vans, and we
Load
got to
the
make sure we
van.
have our break before we get on the road.
Yeah. Those days. Oh my god.
Got to do it all. We're going to be working on we're going to try, if I don't get calls tomorrow, we're going to try to work on the house project a little bit tomorrow, Adam.
Oh, heck yeah.
Got a little bit of time for me?
What were you guys talking about? Why don't you explain what you guys talking about? You guys were saying you bought those pot light things, Chris. Why don't you say something before we leave? Like you guys.
Pot light?
Whatever.
I measured. I used the blower door on my house. My blower door number was actually a lot lower when I made some changes to my house. So I sealed up some known leaks that I knew I'm going to replace or repair. So I sealed those up, and I got my blower door number down to 1200 before I really started air sealing anything. So now I'm going around doing some air sealing, getting ready to do can lights, and dang, those can light rock wool covers, those things are expensive. I spent like 400 something bucks ordering like 25 of those. Damn.
And
I'm
tomorrow
surprised.
morning, the first test we're going to do is we're going to test Chris's duct leakage to outside without a duct blaster or a blower door. I mean,
I kind of already have
your door number, so we don't need to set up, but generally you would need to set it up. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm curious about all that because I have the blower door number, but I'm also doing it with different variables. Like that blower door number with 1200 was with all my registers masked off, so that was the true leakage of the house before I sealed up.
We're not going to want to do that.
No. Why?
We're gonna want everything open.
Oh, for yours, you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying what I've been doing. I've been doing all kinds of different tests just because I want to know the information. So I've done it with the registers, with the registers masked off. I've done it with all the known holes open, with them all sealed up. I was blown away with how much air leakage I had through my utility closet just because of the combustion air venting. So that was actually very surprising.
Good call.
So you're gonna get rid of the combustion air. Actually, you could use that for fresh air. Does that go through your roof or no?
Well, it goes into my attic, so we would have to duct it somewhere. But yeah,
Christopher is saying not to forget the baseline for sure.
Yep, we were trying to do it. Chris, we were trying to do that before the show, but what's his name over here started to get all flustered. He's like, I can't do it.
No, it was too windy at my house to get a proper baseline right now. It was really windy, so it was really messing everything up.
On a PTAC, can we blower door that?
Well, you blower door a structure, not a unit. So
first time I ever played with a blower door, I was like nervous doing it by myself. I didn't have anyone supervising me because I didn't really know what I was doing.
I remember that. Yeah.
Hausch asked, what was the difference with everything open? So with everything open, my original blower door number was 1580.
Was it?
No, it was 2300.
No, it wasn't. It was 1800.
1800. No, it was 2300, 23 or 2200. But then I sealed up some holes that I have in my wall, and then it dropped down to 1800. And then I sealed up the utility closet, and it dropped down another 200. And then I sealed up the registers, and it dropped, I think, another 100. So we got it down to like 12 something. And then now I'm going around sealing the top plate. And then I'm also sealing all the receptacles and the switches, gaskets, all that fancy stuff.
Yeah,
and
I wish I was at your house tomorrow. I wish I was there and we could just sit around for 2 days and play with it. You know, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away. I think you'll get in trouble.
Yeah, no.
I did have an idea, though. I did have an idea, but it involved your whole family. So I was like,
I mean,
hey, that's what you
I left. My wife thought I was like with some kind of mysterious girlfriend. I'm like, no, these are really ugly dudes that wear corduroys.
And I have a picture of a dude on a pillow. Come on, bro. Oh my gosh, we didn't talk about that. The internet blew up with everybody wanting to know where they can get a Ed Janowak pillow. Like, come on.
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty funny, actually. Even Bill Spohn was commenting on it, and then Steve Rogers was commenting on it. It was pretty funny.
He was present and he wasn't even there. Yeah. Hit that end button, buddy.
Do you want me to?
Why not? Am I gonna be the party pooper?
I guess.
I gotta work tomorrow. You guys gotta you guys can put the thing on. I gotta work tomorrow. You guys, did anybody else gotta work tomorrow or what? Or am I the only one?
Why would you work on a Saturday, bro?
I gotta work.
You got a lot of jobs to finish up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I gotta work. I gotta do 2 load calcs tomorrow, bro.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, I need to do that. There's so many different things, the aspects of this house project. I need to download the load calc software too.
Gotta get going on this. This is gonna turn into like a 2-year freaking thing that's never gonna end.
Well, I originally said it was going to happen in the winter, so I'm still in my testing phase. I'm not rushing this. I'm taking my time. So yeah, we'll get to it. I think I'm making good progress.
You're already starting to fix stuff.
Yeah, because I've already got measurements.
Yeah, but we need more. We need a lot of measurements.
Thanks, Ty. Don't forget the thumbs up.
We can measure.
Boys and gals.
All right, smash it. Hit the end button, and let's wrap it up.
Yeah, it's been a good one, guys. See you next week for sure. And a Monday at Chris's. Oh, and tomorrow, Saturday, Clive, guys, check it out.
It's gonna be loud because I wasn't prepared.
Oh no.
Cover your ears.
Is that better?
I guess. Yeah.
Morgan Meller. They use ammonia because it's super efficient and it's a good refrigerant, but it's also toxic. So just got to be careful, but it's very efficient.
Yeah, good call, Chris. Yeah.
So, that was another thing I found very interesting. I got to sit down with Jason and we were talking a lot about A2Ls. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Jason's very knowledgeable. In fact, that's your position, I believe, Jason, isn't it? You're in charge of well, that's what you kind of do a lot of, is dealing with the A2L implementation and stuff, right? He's very knowledgeable in that. I've talked to him about it before too.
What's Jason? What are we talking about?
Jason Obju.
Oh,
Tedesco. He's got to be one of the probably most knowledgeable people in the country on the matter, eh?
I'd say, because Jason actually does some of the lobbying, I believe, too, right? I think so. So
Yeah.
wasn't there a podcast he said he did? Somebody listened to the other day.
Jason's done a bunch of podcasts.
Well, lately it was on school.
Probably, yeah. Probably did one with Brian for sure.
Yeah, somebody
Just
said-
search up Jason.
I thought one of you guys said he did something. We were talking about it. I don't know.
Greg says they can still hear us. No wonder.
Come out.
What?
All right.
See ya.
Until next time.
I heard that music.